What up YouTube, your boy the Flying Spanner here. Today we have a little tutorial really on how I make my airport schedules. So it's something that's been requested by a few of you recently, especially in the comments. So I'm just going to turn down VPilot because that is deafening. There we go. And yeah, just to give you a little insight, I always refer to them when I start an airport update that it's this time. Say it's this time, but it's not actually that time. It's based around this time of day on the airport, and we have this going on, and I've been working on the schedule. That's one I use fairly all the time, because I'm always working on the schedule. And this is kind of what we're going to do. So I've decided, I looked at my Caribbean winter schedule, and pairing up with the times I see on Flight Radar and stuff. It doesn't match up really at all. So I'm just going to make a quick, not make a quick one, but just quickly go through the process for making a schedule because I want to get a Caribbean airport done this afternoon. And of course, it really helps when you're making an airport update, or even just to add realism to your airport, is to make a schedule like this, because you won't have, say, like here in the UK, like Manchester for example, majority of stuff that comes, well actually to be fair, majority of the long haul stuff from like the US and all those bits, it comes in dead early in the morning, it comes right early in the morning, so you don't really want, unless you're basing it around another airport, you don't want, you kind of, when you're making an airport, you choose which airports to base it around. For example, my UK airport is based around mainly Manchester, but then to get the variety I wanted in there, I've sprinkled on a bit of the Heathrow and Edinburgh flight times, and a little bit of Gatwick as well, because Gatwick has some quite interesting movements like Wizz Air, Baltic, etc. But I wanted to add those. I wanted to add those in, and they all come in sorry, at the same time that the airport schedule that it says. So it just adds a little bit of element of realism, and also it just makes life easy. Instead of, say, setting out a board and just going, oh, I want a few Americans, I'm just going to put a couple American Airlines, a Delta and a United on it, for example, and then this one will come in. It's all, yeah, okay, you're using your imagination where they're coming in from and all that bits, but it just makes it easier if you can just look at something and just go, right, this is what I need to do. So today we are going to be simulating my Caribbean airport. Is mainly based around Punta Cana, along with a bit of Barbados for the Virgin movements, a little bit of St. Martin for the KLM move. It's just loosely based around. It's a generic Caribbean airport. It is based in Dominican Republic, just south, really it's La Romana way. So it is a bit Dominican Republic airport, but we're using it loosely for that. So let's get into it. So we're here on Flight Radar. I kind of need to forget that I can't use this corner of the screen. So we're on Friday. So what I do, sorry, let me start that again. So first thing you want to do is set up your stands. So what stands you've got. So for example, in my Caribbean airport, I've got kind of two sets of stands. These stands here, or that you see up here, sorry, these are all the ones that are visible. So Tango 1 to 5 are all the visible stands, because you kind of, and actually Papa 4 is visible as well. Purely because of how I've got the airport laid out, I can only have, I can have narrow bodies on here. I can have 3 narrow bodies or I can have 2 wide bodies on covering these stands, or 1 wide body there and 1 narrow body there, and then these 2 are just narrow body only. So if I then flip to my UK airport, which is that one, go all the way over here, and then we'll see I've got all my stands here. So these are all the new ones. Oh, these are all the new ones. These are all from the cargo area. Actually, these are all from the cargo area. Remote stands and then terminal stands there. So you just want to write up what stands you got and accept whatever, put them in here. So I then make each a day for each, depending how you lay it out. Depends on what kind of, no idea what that was. Depending on how you lay it out, depends on kind of what movements. So I know for this airport, there's not going to be any layover aircraft. Well, at the moment, there's no layover aircraft, so it's easier just to lay it out on top of each other. Whereas I go to the UK airport, and it has layovers, so it's easiest to mix the two. And there we go. There's the layover aircraft. Well, there's some of the layover aircraft. Go to a day of properly finished. Oh no, this isn't my main. It's the wrong one. That's why. And then you see, if I go here, then it just makes it easier to see where they're parking, because they generally stay on the same stand. So, let's get started. So, today it is recording on Friday. So, the airport opens at 8 o'clock and closes at midnight. So, we go over here to Flight Radar. I'm going to start off, I'm going to choose Punta Cana. If I go to arrivals, then what I've done is, if you go on to just a quick on your flight radar settings, what I've just done, if you go onto your settings and then choose local time, local time I find is a lot better making this, because then you'll know it's 9 o'clock at the airport. So if you have it at UTC, you've then got to take in time zones and stuff like that. It's just easier just to hit local, then you know. So Punta Cana arrivals, and this is how easy it is. So we have a JetBlue from San Juan. We want that one. We'll have the San Juan, the Fort Lauderdale, and see how we get on. So we can click on that one. Aircraft info. Oh, what's that done? It's loading. So on the 7th of July, which is the day today, it goes from San Juan. So originates in Orlando, San Juan to Punta Cana. So we'll go up here onto Friday. And when does it land? It lands at 8 o'clock, I think. So that one can go there. So it goes San Juan, in from San Juan to Punta Cana, then Punta Cana to New York. So we go back onto here. It's a lot easier on the UK one, because I can use Airport Community. So 8 o'clock, and then when does it depart? It's on the New York, it's that aircraft type. Departs at 9:05. So 8 till 9. Choose a little colour for it. That's what I choose for JetBlue. And then we type in here, JetBlue arrives from San Juan, which is, I use the IATA, I think it's IATA codes, the 3-letter codes, just because it's easiest. If you can remember what it is. If it's an airport, I've got no idea what it is, then I won't use the code. I'll type in the airport. So yeah, so arrives from San Juan, departs to JFK at 8 in the morning. Go back to arrivals. Of course, load earlier because we're still too early. This one, Fort Lauderdale, so that arrives at 8:30, and it'll be that one. Departs at 9:30. Nice and easy. So actually, to be fair, we can just copy and paste that, because all it's doing, it's still a JetBlue, so it's just same colour, and just change it from the arrival departure, and then I just put say FFL, which is the code for Fort Lauderdale. Oh, sorry, it's FLL, code for Fort Lauderdale. And then I know that it's because it's not arriving in, it's arriving, departing the same destination, so I know it's just doing that one. This is really as easy as hard as it gets. So then we can do this little frontier here. That fits in nicely there, so we got a nice little slot here for the frontier. Arrives in at 9:50 from Atlanta. And when does it depart? It departs at 10:50. So 10:50, Frontier's colour's green. Let's go for that green. That's pretty much similar. Merge and center. Frontier ATL. And really it is just like this. So then we can do this JetBlue here, which is Boston. That comes in at 11:40. God, there's not much going on, is there? Comes in at 11:40. Oh, that's departs at 11:40. Sorry. So that means 10:35. 10:30 to 11:40. Merge. Try and remember what colour I used, which I think was that one. JetBlue A220. Arrive from Boston. Depart to, I think it departed somewhere else, didn't it? Oh no, it just went to Boston. We can get rid of that. Get rid of that. So yeah, that's the narrow body, and then really, if I just skip and go to a wide body, back to arrivals, well, it takes a while to get to a wide body. Transats, there we go, Manchester TUI flight. So it lands at 1:50 PM, 13:50. It's actually easier, so if I can do that, if I do that, this will just give me, just makes the whole, there we go, now I know which stands which without flicking forward and backward each time. Give it a little colour code. So 13:50. So it's a wide body, so it will take up this stand and this stand. So it arrives at 1:50 and departs at, scroll all the way down, departs back up to Manchester at 3:50. There we go. TUI, I use a lighter blue. Merchant Centre. TUI, Manchester. I could just put TUI Man. And then for cleaning up purposes, that goes in there. So then a wide body, and then I can put, because that blocks off that stand, I can then just merge and center that. That kind of blocks it out there. So then all I can do is put something in these two, and etc. Something like that. So really, it is basically just inputting data. That's all it gets to, and that's pretty much it. I can continue doing this. I can keep saying what to do, but you kind of get the gist, and that's how I make it. Kind of keeps it quick as well, because otherwise I could do this for hours. Especially the UK one that's taken me God knows how long to do. But yeah, that's pretty much it, and you kind of get how I make it. So eventually what you end up with, hopefully, is something like this, where, of course, this is my biggest airport, hence why there's so much going on. But yeah, it just kind of makes it a lot easier to read. So, so if I did an airport update, I did this airport update there, the 3rd of September, must be 1 year. Did this airport, even though this is a different spreadsheet, but we'll go on from that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's a little, I'll say brief. It's probably taken me what, God knows how long to explain it. But that's pretty much it. And then you just kind of input it from there. So Flight Radar's your friend here. Of course, if you haven't got, I've got the silver package on Flight Radar, so it just means I don't get any ads, which makes it a lot easier, and there's no time limit, so you can spend whatever time you want doing this. But always just make sure Flight Radar is set to the airport or the local time. I think it's airport time or local time, whichever one it was, because then that just makes it a lot easier to transmit. You don't have to do time zones or anything. But yeah, happy schedule making, and that's pretty much it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and short but sweet. Thank you, have a very good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios, and goodbye.